Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Amma ba'd, habita fillah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We ask that Allah Azza wa Jal, the Almighty, accepts our good and forgives our evil, blesses us to speak the truth, and protects us from kulli suwa makruh. Habita fillah, a question was asked. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah preserve you upon the sunnah and raise you to your teacher's rank, Sheikh Muqbil, and higher than him. I mean, I am currently running a software development agency, and non-Muslims come to me to build apps and websites. Sometimes they want to include photos and videos in their apps and websites, and usually these may involve haram, and Allah knows best. Is it permissible for me to build the application and the websites, and when it comes to uploading the photo, I tell them, you upload the photo, meaning I have no part in it. Therefore, I build the permissible parts of the website and the app, and any photo or video they want to put, I tell them they have to put it themselves. I will be hosting the app website on my Amazon Web Services account. I am basically doing everything other than uploading the media. I have orders like this now, and I really need to know. So this is an excellent question, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you in your business and increase you in khair and protect you from shar. And may Allah tabarak wa ta'ala answer your dua and just make us even a student of knowledge. May Allah tabarak wa ta'ala bless us to be on istiqamah and bless us to become a student of knowledge. So first and foremost, I want to mention, as I've mentioned this countless times, that I don't, inshallah ta'ala, give fatwa. I try to share knowledge, and I give advice in things that I have knowledge about, and try to give you nusus from the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So let's just look in exactly what our brother, I believe our brother, has mentioned in regarding his website. So you have made every effort to do halal and good in your business transaction, and you've already set the parameters. So only Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala knows best. I see nothing problematic about what you're doing, and you've set your parameters. And one of the things I really appreciate that you're doing is that you have the power to build these websites. You have these talents, you have these skills. People are coming to you, and you are exercising the caution and dealing with your clients accordingly. And Allah is putting blessing in that. So if you're able to get accounts this way, then I say keep doing what you're doing. Stay independent, because the one who has to do websites like this and has the same skills that you have, but they are in a situation where they're employed for someone else, maybe they don't have the ability to say no to the clients. And so then there's a mixture in their transactions, and that sometimes they have to do haram. And on a third note, or another point I want to mention, is most of us, unfortunately, we do deal with a lot of haram in our workplaces. Most of us are not free from that when we live as Muslim minorities. Also, even in Muslim societies, you have a lot of the same things. You have a lot of the same issues, but in a non-Muslim society, as Muslim minorities, we face these challenges even more. So many of us, we may have generally a halal livelihood, but there's haram mixed in. For example, you might be a male, and you know, all your bosses, your supervisors, the people around you are all women. So it's a mixed environment, and they want to shake your hand, and there's all kind of things. You're alone with your colleagues. Those are common issues. And what you can do is fear Allah as much as you can. So what I advise in general for our brothers and sisters in the West in seeking livelihoods, first and foremost, if you can be independent like our brother, his situation, this is excellent. This is the most promising of and blessed ways of having transactions, being independent and calling your own shots. But most of us don't have that luxury and have that ni'mah in that sense. So if that's the case, you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as you can. So do not work in industries and so forth where you mubashir, muharramat. For example, you can't work in a gambling establishment. You can't work in selling pork products, meaning that is your asl. Meaning if you're a clerk in a regular store, or you're an Amazon employee and a pork or an alcohol package, you can't do anything about it. You have to, that's your job. So you fear Allah as much as you can. You dislike this. You don't want to be a part of this, but there's no way you can refrain unless you're willing to lose your job, and then you'll be unemployed and you'll have to, and maybe that's a greater mafasid for some of us who need employment, because this is the reality. Most of the employment that we find, and I dare venture say in the world, I don't just say in non-Muslim countries, because I say even I worked in Saudi Arabia for many years. There was things that were doubtful that I had to do. I worked in Yemen as well as teaching, and I have had situations where many of my students were Yemeni women. Okay, this is, it was there. That was just the way it is. So there's in many cases, I don't say all, but I believe probably a majority, or at least many cases, there's going to be a mixture of halal and haram. There's going to be a mixture of those challenges. So what you want to do is go with the akhaf dararain. You want to go with the least of the harms and the least of the muharramat. Akhaf al-muharramat. Go to where there's the least amount, if not where you can even remove it. So you want to fear Allah as much as you can until you have a better situation. So going back to our brother's question, I see no ashkal, wala shay, and may Allah put barakah in your transactions and bless you with continual independence and bless us with independence. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.